The security guard's hand came up like a traffic cop's as I approached Riverside Country Club. "Ma'am, this is a members-only event. I need you to leave." "I'm here for the ownership transition meeting," I said, reaching for my phone. "Jazz? Oh my God, what are you doing here?" My sister Melissa's voice cut through the air, sharp with amusement. She emerged from the clubhouse in head-to-toe Lily Pulitzer, her tennis bracelet catching the sunlight. Behind her, my mother and brother followed, dressed in country club pastels. "I have a meeting," I said simply. Melissa laughed, that tinkling sound she'd perfected over years of junior league brunches. "A meeting? Jazz, this is the ownership announcement. The club was sold to some tech consortium. This is for members and stakeholders only." She turned to the security guard with exaggerated patience. "I'm so sorry. This is my sister. She gets confused about these things." "I'm not confused, Melissa." "Honey," my mother stepped forward, condescension wrapped in concern. "This is embarrassing. You can't just show up to exclusive events. This isn't one of your little coding meetups." The security guard looked uncomfortable. "Ma'am, I need you to leave the premises." My brother Trevor joined in, his voice urgent. "Jazz, don't make a scene. You're going to get escorted out and it'll reflect badly on all of us. We have a reputation here." "I have an invitation," I repeated. Melissa didn't even look. "Those spam emails aren't real invitations, sweetie." God, remember when she thought she was invited to the governor's ball? She dissolved into giggles. "That was 7 years ago and I was 23. "And you still haven't learned," Trevor muttered. "Look, these are serious business people. The new ownership group paid $47 million for this club. They're not here to talk about apps." My father's voice boomed across the parking lot. "There's my family." He strode over in golf attire, face ruddy with satisfaction. "Melissa, your mother tells me you've been nominated for the social committee. Trevor, I heard Hutchinson might make you VP. Excellent work, son." He glanced at me, his smile flickering. "Jasmine. What a surprise." "She thinks she's supposed to be at the meeting," Melissa stage whispered. My father's expression shifted to familiar pity and irritation. "Jasmine, this really isn't appropriate. I know you're looking for networking opportunities for your computer hobby, but you can't crash country club events. The new owners are major players in the tech industry. Real tech industry, not just websites. You're out of your depth." "That's because you've never asked what I do," I said quietly. "Oh, don't start with the victim routine," Trevor groaned. "We've asked. You give vague answers about data security and cloud infrastructure. None of us understand tech speak. That's not our fault. I offered to explain at Thanksgiving. You told me to stop boring everyone." "Because you were," Melissa exclaimed. "Nobody wants to hear about servers at family dinner. Read the room, Jazz." The security guard shifted. "Ma'am, I'm going to have to call." "Call Thomas Brennan," I said calmly. "The general manager. Tell him Jasmine Park is here." My family exchanged glances that said I'd finally lost it. "Just stop," my mother hissed. "You can't just drop his name like you know him." "I do know him. We've been in meetings for 3 months." Melissa's laugh was cruel. "Meetings? Right. Did you fix his computer? That's not the same as knowing someone professionally." The security guard spoke into his radio. "I have a Jasmine Park claiming to be invited to the ownership meeting. Can someone verify?" Static, then a crisp voice. "Jasmine Park? Send her directly to the grand ballroom immediately. She's expected." The silence was beautiful. The guard's demeanor transformed. "I apologize, Ms. Park. Please go right in. They're waiting for you." My family stood frozen. "There must be some mistake," my father said, but his voice had lost certainty. "No mistake, sir," the guard said. "Miss Park is cleared." I walked toward the entrance. Behind me, my mother's urgent whisper. "How does Jasmine know Thomas Brennan?" They followed at a distance, confidence shaken but not broken. The grand ballroom was magnificent. Crystal chandeliers, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the 18th hole, 200 people representing old money and new. Thomas Brennan stood near the front, silver-haired and distinguished. When he saw me, his face lit up. "Jasmine. Excellent. We're about to start." He gestured forward. "Your seat is reserved up front. Front row." Melissa's voice cracked. "Thomas, there must be confusion. Our sister isn't. Your sister. Thomas's eyebrows rose. How wonderful. What a remarkable young woman. Please follow me. We have seats for the Park family in the VIP section. My father's mouth opened soundlessly as Thomas led us front, where placards read Park Family VIP Guests. We were 3 rows from the stage, surrounded by people from Forbes covers. I don't understand, my mother whispered urgently. Jasmine, what is happening? The ownership announcement. Like I said. Thomas took the stage. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. I know there's been speculation about Riverside's future since the Morrison family decided to sell. I'm pleased to finally share the details. The lights dimmed. A presentation screen descended. 3 months ago, we were approached by a technology company interested in acquiring Riverside. Not to change it, but to preserve and enhance it with upgraded facilities and world-class amenities. An image appeared. The Cloud Vault Technologies logo, sleek interlocking clouds and vault doors in silver and blue. My brother made a choking sound. Cloud Vault Technologies is one of the fastest-growing cybersecurity firms in the nation. Founded 10 years ago, they've grown from a one-person startup to an industry leader with offices in 12 countries. Annual revenue last year exceeded $230 million. My mother's hand gripped my father's arm. Cloud Vault specializes in data security for Fortune 500 companies, government agencies, and financial institutions. Their client list includes 6 of the top 10 banks in America, the Department of Defense, and over 200 major corporations. The next slide showed Cloud Vault's growth timeline with exponentially climbing revenue figures. Why would a tech company want a country club? Simple. Their founder and CEO wanted to give back to the community where she grew up. She wanted to create a space where families could gather, where traditions could continue. A new image appeared. My professional headshot from last year's Forbes feature. Please welcome Cloud Vault Technologies founder and CEO and Riverside Country Club's new owner, Jasmine Park. The applause was thunderous. I stood, aware of my family's stares burning into my back as I walked to the stage. Thomas handed me the microphone. The floor is yours, Ms. Park. I looked out at the audience, then deliberately down at my family's table. My father's face had gone gray. Melissa's mouth hung open. Trevor gripped the table edge. My mother's eyes swam with tears. Thank you, Thomas. 10 years ago I started Cloud Vault in a studio apartment with a laptop, $30,000 in student loans, and an idea most people, including my family, thought was impractical. I was told to get a real job, to stop playing with computers, to accept I wasn't cut out for business. I paused. I didn't listen. I worked 90-hour weeks. I taught myself advanced cryptography. I cold called until someone gave me a chance. That first client paid $5,000. I used it to get my next client and my next. Within 3 years, Cloud Vault had 20 employees and 7-figure revenue. My eyes stayed on my family. Last year we went public. Our IPO raised $600 million. My personal net worth is currently $412 million. I own 3 homes, a venture capital fund, and as of this morning, Riverside Country Club, which I purchased for $47 million cash. Melissa made a sound like a wounded animal. I'm saying this not to brag but to make a point about assumptions. When security stopped me today, my family said I was confused. They couldn't imagine a scenario where I had more access, more success, more belonging than they did. I looked at my father. Dad, you asked me to accept my limitations. I did, only the ones I placed on myself, not the ones you tried to place on me. You asked what I do. I protect the data infrastructure of modern America. When you log into your bank, my software keeps your money safe. When the government communicates classified information, my encryption protects national security. That's what I do. Trevor, you said I'm out of my depth with real tech industry players. I am the tech industry. I've spoken at Web Summit, RSA Conference, and Black Hat. I've been featured in Wired, Forbes, and Fortune. Last month I had coffee with Microsoft's CEO about a partnership. Melissa, you said my company name was cute. Cloud Vault is valued at $1.2 billion. We employ 347 people across 4 continents. We're not cute. We're essential. I turned to the full audience. I bought Riverside because I have good memories here, watching my family enjoy this club while I studied in the library, unable to afford membership. Now I own it and I'm making changes. I advanced the slide showing renovation plans. First, we're upgrading all technology infrastructure. New security systems, high-speed internet, mobile app for bookings. Second, we're establishing a scholarship program. Every year, 5 young people from the community will receive full memberships, paid Cloud Vault internships and mentorship. We're calling it the Underestimated Founders Program. Applause rippled through the room. Third, membership rates stay the same but criteria are changing. Riverside will prioritize diversity in thought and industry. I want entrepreneurs, innovators, risk-takers. People who built something from nothing. People who were told no and did it anyway. Final slide. Belonging isn't inherited. It's earned. This club will be exclusively for people who understand achievement comes in many forms. Not everyone's success looks like a Fortune 500 corner office or junior league chairmanship. Some of us build success quietly with code and determination and refusal to accept other people's limitations. I looked at my family one last time. I hope you enjoyed today's luncheon. And Thomas, could you confirm my invitation for the record? Thomas stepped forward. Ms. Park has lifetime platinum membership. As owner, she has authority over all club operations, membership decisions, and event planning. Thank you. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a call with the White House cybersecurity team in 20 minutes. They're interested in Cloud Vault's new quantum encryption protocol. The applause followed me off stage. My father caught my arm as I passed. Jasmine, wait. We need to talk. We had no idea. You had no idea because you never asked, I said quietly, removing his hand. You never asked what Cloud Vault does, how my hobby was going, why I stopped attending family dinners. You never asked because you weren't interested in the answer. That's not fair, Melissa stood, voice shrill. How are we supposed to know you were some tech mogul? You never told us. I tried. At Thanksgiving 3 years ago, I mentioned Cloud Vault closed $50 million in Series B funding. Trevor told me to stop making up numbers. At Christmas 2 years ago, I invited you to our anniversary gala. Mom said she didn't want to spend her holiday at a networking event. Last Easter, I mentioned going public. You changed the subject to Melissa's new car. My mother's tears flowed freely. Jasmine, please. We made mistakes. But we're family. This doesn't have to change anything. You're right. This doesn't change anything. I was successful before you knew and I'll be successful going forward. What changes is I'm done pretending your approval matters. I'm done being the family embarrassment. You were never an embarrassment, my father said desperately. We're proud of you. Always were. No, you weren't. But you will be now, in public where people can see. You'll tell everyone about your daughter that texts you. You'll brag at cocktail parties. You'll suddenly remember all the ways you supported me. And I'll smile politely because I'm not petty enough to publicly humiliate my family. But privately, we're done. What does that mean? Trevor asked hollowly. It means you keep your memberships, for now. I'm not vindictive. But no family discounts or special treatment. You pay like everyone else. You can tell people we're related, but you can't use my name or company for social climbing. And next time you need something, money, connections, opportunities, the answer is no. Melissa's face crumpled. You can't mean that. Family helps each other. Exactly. Which is why it's notable you never helped me. Never invested in Cloud Vault when I was bootstrapping. Never introduced me to business contacts when I was networking. Never showed up when I won Entrepreneur of the Year. You didn't help when I had nothing to offer. So I'm under no obligation to help now that I have everything. Thomas appeared at my elbow. Miss Park, your call? Of course. I looked at my family one final time. Enjoy the luncheon. The crab cakes are excellent. I made sure we kept the Morrison family recipes. Some traditions are worth preserving. Others aren't. I walked away, leaving them frozen. Behind me, my mother's voice, thick with tears, $400 million. Our daughter has 400 million and we didn't know. Thomas walked me to the private office. That was quite the reveal. How are you feeling? Relieved. I've been dreading this moment for months. Better to control the narrative. They seemed genuinely shocked. They were. They built an identity around being the successful Park family, with me as the unfortunate outlier. Reality will be hard for them. We reached the office, beautifully appointed with mahogany and leather. My laptop was set up, White House call queued. Will you reconcile eventually? Thomas asked gently. I considered it. Maybe. If they put in work to actually know me, understand what I do and why it matters. If they can be proud of who I am, not just what I've achieved. But that's on them. I spent 10 years trying to earn their respect. I'm done performing. For what it's worth, I think they're starting to realize what they lost. That's not my problem to solve anymore. He nodded and left. As I connected to the secure line and heard White House staffers greeting me, something settled in my chest. This was my life. Briefings with government agencies, negotiations with Fortune 500 CEOs, decisions affecting hundreds of employees and millions of users. My family's opinion hadn't changed any of that. Their sudden pride wouldn't either. I was Jasmine Park, founder and CEO of Cloud Vault Technologies, owner of Riverside Country Club, one of the youngest self-made female tech executives in America. Their recognition was about a decade too late. The White House cyber chief's voice crackled through. Ms. Park, thank you for making time. We're very interested in your quantum encryption protocol. Could you walk us through the specifications? And just like that, I moved on. While my family processed their shattered assumptions, I had actual work to do. Important work. Real work. The kind I'd been doing all along while they weren't paying attention.